Small business owner? Entrepreneur? Want to learn how online marketing can improve your business?
Your questions.
Our advice.
This is Not a Real Job.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 69 of Not a Real Job, the podcast where we help you turn your hobbies into jobbies. I am Chris Van Patten, and I make websites in New York.
Okay. All right. Off to a good start. I'm Joel, and I work in Canada.
Excellent.
I live and work in Canada.
Oh, you do both?
Yep.
Wow. How's that working out for you?
It's miserable.
That's what I thought.
Cold up here.
Yeah. It's in the 50s here today.
I don't know what that means, but
The 30s? I don't really know how the scale works. But yeah, it's relatively warm for the time of year that it is.
let me see what it is way up here in Canada. Oh, it's pretty warm today, apparently. It's 46 degrees, I guess.
Huh. Cool.
Haven't been outside.
Oh, yeah, me neither. I'm only going on hearsay and rumor, gossip.
Conjecture.
Yes, indeed.
What are you drinking today, Chris?
That is a great question to which I
Thank you.
have an answer. I am drinking Joseph Drouhin, which is a French producer. This is their Beaujolais Nouveau. So, brief history lesson, or I guess it's not so much history as because it happens now. Every year for about 2 weeks around the American Thanksgiving time, French producers release what is known as the Beaujolais Nouveau, which is basically a really dirt cheap wine that back in the day, they would use all the leftovers at the end of the harvest season, create a wine that they would give away to the people who were involved in the harvest. Somebody got wind of that, and then it became this yearly phenomenon where every year around this time, they release the Beaujolais Nouveau. And what's interesting about this wine compared to other wines is that it's only about 2 weeks old. Usually wines age about a year. But it's kind of crappy, and by and large is the product of just a marketing and advertising campaign to build up this wine. Not really worth it. But what caught my attention with this one is that it's actually a 2013 instead of a 2014, which is kind of unusual. So I picked it up, and it's crappy, but it's drinkable. And now I know that I will never need it again. And there you go.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. What about you?
I have a big mug of soda water and nothing else because I may have had a little too much to drink last night, and I'm still not feeling great.
Oh, Joel. Did you lose any cell phones in the process?
No, I never do. I woke up with all my things.
That makes one of us.
But apparently my friend lost his keys, so good for him.
Oof.
All right, what are we talking about on episode 69, which right before the show you said you were going to make a joke about?
I did not say I was going to make a joke about
you
it. What
said, I'm going to make a juvenile...
I think what I said was that we could get a lot of mileage out of this.
We, though.
Yes, I'm implicating you in this situation as well.
Well, I have nothing to say on the topic.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Super funny show. I'm not feeling like our usual rhythm. I feel like we're off today. Is it just me?
It's kind of a weird Sunday here. I don't know about you, but it's been kind of a weird day here. Maybe that's part of it.
I spent most of the day in bed. And also this is late for us these days recording. Maybe the early record was the secret all along.
Also, you're not drinking.
Yep.
I think that has something to do with it.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. It's unusual for me to be the drinker and you not to be. I would love somebody to put together a scoreboard website with all of our beverage pursuits documented. Sort of like the Black Friday death counter. I don't know if you've seen this.
No, but that sounds depressing already.
Yeah, it's called blackfridaydeathcount.com, and you can load it, and it goes back and it gives you the injuries and deaths resulting from Black Friday. So this year it looks like we're only at 2 deaths so far. 5 injuries, so not bad. You know, we've done better in the past, but that's okay.
BlackFridayDeathCount.com, I've got 9 deaths and 96 injuries.
That's overall. You want to scroll down below there.
Oh, I see. Only 9 and 96 injuries?
Well, since 2006.
Well,
And there may be undocumented cases out there as well. So,
Of death.
yeah. But anyway, somebody make that for us.
So what do we got? Murder, suicide?
Mhm.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't hear about this. Let's just do a podcast where Joel reads the news.
I'm surprised we haven't done that already. We may have.
Well, Well, that's a real downer of a story.
Yay. Let's go back to the
speaking
69 jokes.
Speaking of downers, you know what I spent $30 on the other day?
Please do tell.
QuickTime 7 Pro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
I'm pretty sure I know I made a huge mistake. QuickTime 7, is that even a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, I got the Pro version, I guess.
Excellent. I have it as well. Actually, I don't have it on this computer, but I do have a license.
Okay. Well, I'm really hoping I can find. Oh, yeah. So, because this is what happened was I was like, I got my new computer. Let's back up a second here. I got a new computer.
Mhm.
I think we talked about what I was going to get on the last show, and in the intervening period, it arrived via the mail. So I'm really burpy today.
It's that soda water.
Like I am every day, but yeah, this is good soda water. Anyway, so it arrived and I was like, I should ditch Audacity. I don't know why I decided this, but I was like, I'm done with it. And I record on Audacity. I was like, I'm gonna do some QuickTime stuff, and I was able to get a license for QuickTime 7 Pro, but wasn't actually able to get QuickTime 7. And I think that's where I ran into difficulties.
So you have a license, but no accompanying software. Is that what you're saying?
That is precisely what I'm saying.
Interesting.
I think I may have just found the link to download it, though. This is the part of the show where Joel just troubleshoots some software problems. We desperately need to jump into a topic here.
We need to do what?
I don't know, talk about something.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I can give us something to talk about. So we had Sarah on the show a couple weeks ago, talked a little bit about branding and marketing, things like that. But I think it's something that we can actually dive into a little further because a friend of the show, Tommy, who has written in the past, has finished up a beautiful new logo for us.
Why are we getting a new logo?
So again, something we've talked about on the show before.
I don't listen to the episodes.
I was going to ask. Okay, that's good to know. We are rebranding the show a little bit.
What?
It's sort of a same.
Was this hobbies and jobbies thing?
Yeah. Did you like that, by the way?
I didn't care for it.
I've been working on that for a couple days now. Anyway, well, we'll give that one a pass. But the basic idea being that our show has deviated from its initial topic, which was sort of social media marketing, and taken on more of a let's help you do the thing you love and get money doing it kind of thing. Which in fairness, we don't do much of that either, but that's okay. That's what we want to talk about. And so we're sort of giving everything an overhaul. So there's going to be a new logo, a new website. The name's going to be exactly the same. You don't have to change your RSS feeds or podcast reader or anything like that. But we're just kind of overhauling the look of the show. So yeah, and we've got an awesome new logo in the pipeline right now that I think, and you may agree or disagree, Joel, but I think it really captures what we're going for.
Yeah, I mean it's incredibly phallic in nature. Which is certainly the direction that I've been trying to take the show in, like hypersexualizing it.
Sure, very appropriate for episode 69.
Well, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why we're doing the revamp on such, it's a hypersexual number. It's a hypersexual season. This is what everyone knows about the holidays, Thanksgiving, especially.
Thanksgiving and Thanks-taking.
Nailed it. So really what he's drawn is, it's really just a penis with a tattoo on it that says not a real job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it works.
I think it's skillfully drawn.
Well, certainly. It's incredibly anatomically accurate. He used the reference photos I supplied him with. Obviously. Oh, Jesus.
Is this why people don't listen to our show?
I mean, do we actually have to identify reasons why people don't listen?
True.
Can't prove a negative, Christopher. People don't listen because our show is neither informative nor entertaining. We know that.
Oh, I'm sad laughing over here in a big way.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, we did make a joke about episode 69.
That's true.
What more could we possibly do to turn people off sexually?
Well, Joel, where there's a will, there is a way.
No,
but maybe we should let's roll back a little.
Let's be serious.
Can you roll back with me?
Yep,
we're rolling. Good.
Okay.
No, really.
Pushed my chair back slightly.
I am going to do the same there. Done. I think this is an interesting question, though. Overall, like, how do you know when you should be rebrand whatever you are? Like, is there a point? What are the signs? Because I bring this topic up because I'm sort of in the thick of it myself with Van Patten Media.
You're rebranding?
It's still it's same name, new look kind of situation.
I see.
But I'm sort of stepping back and saying, I'm not sure that the current brand, the current look and feel of the website and the logo and all this, and even down to the way that I interact with clients or bring new clients on board, I'm sort of starting from zero and saying, okay, what do I want to accomplish, and how can I change the look and the feel of the company to reflect that? But so I have my own ideas, but I'm curious what you think. How do you know when something should be overhauled, like your brand or your image or the tangibles? How do you know when you need to get a new business card, right? Like, what are the different metrics that you use?
I use a random number generator to identify the number of years or months. And that way there's never any thinking that has to go into it. So what I do is I recommend this for all businesses out there. As soon as you launch your website or get a business card printed, just kind of assign an arbitrary date to redo it all. And that way you never have to worry if it's too late or too soon.
Interesting.
That's obviously terrible advice. That's a joke. Yeah, I mean, rebranding is something like, it's the issue with rebrands is that companies and the people who work at them get tired of things, I think, a lot faster than the public does because they experience it every day. I mean, you see it with the ad campaigns that seem to be going great and everybody likes them. And then one day it's been dramatically changed. And you get the feeling it's because someone working at the company either didn't work on that spot when they started working there and therefore want to make their own stamp, or they've watched the ad a million times so they think it's old and needs to be redone, even though the public's only seen it a few times. And I think the logos are the same thing. I mean, when American Airlines changed their logo from what was considered to be one of the great logos to now just kind of a meaningless refresh with a new typeface. I mean, that kind of thing is the same. It's the same thing. Someone thought we've had this for too long. Let's change it. I think rebrands are good when the company's direction changes and the look hasn't caught up with it. That's kind of like what we're doing with our show is we're changing or attempting to change the way we talk and the way we do the show. It only makes sense for us that we change the look and feel of the way that we introduce people to the show.
I think our new brand should involve burping somehow. That seems to be
Jesus, I'm so burping today. Is that why people don't listen?
That's probably it.
People don't want to listen to a fat man burp into a microphone. Who knew?
Yeah, it's a little crazy, but
John Goodman got famous somehow.
True.
That's mean. I love John Goodman. We just watched The Big Lebowski again, and my goodness, that movie is just... Well, I'm the first guy on the internet to talk about liking The Big Lebowski. Good job, Joel.
I haven't seen it.
Christ.
Are you surprised, at this point?
I just thought, do we have a list of movies you've seen? Okay, let me guess.
Uh-huh.
It's Every version of Rent,
No,
South Pacific.
those aren't movies, Joel. I mean, they are movies.
They
but
are
that's-
movies,
Yeah, but like,
but they're singing in them, and you like movies with singing in them.
do I?
Yes, you
Is that the threshold?
Yeah.
You know what movie I'm very excited about this year?
Is it a movie with singing in it? It's Pitch Perfect 2, isn't it?
I don't know. But it is the season now for Love Actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It only comes once a year, Joel.
It's a terrible movie.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's unwatchable.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's one of those movies that, that I lump that in with, honestly, The Notebook and P.S. I Love You, of movies that I have been suckered into watching under the pretense that, no, they're a lot better than all those other shitty rom-coms. And it turns out to be the worst of the bunch.
Yeah, but Joel, see, this one has your Laura Linney's, your Emma Thompsons, your Rowan Atkinsons, for goodness sakes. And
it's hard to watch them in something so terrible. Just watch
man.
Mr. Bean again.
Joel, I think you need a little touch of the Christmas spirit.
No, we don't have Christmas in Canada.
Joel, we on that Christmas creep.
I guess we are. Now that you guys are over your Thanksgiving, we're legally allowed to start celebrating Christmas.
Well, I mean, as you know, I've already been celebrating for several weeks now.
Years even.
I was up in Canada. That was a week, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I just dove right in there.
What did you do in Canada?
Well, I was listening to Christmas music the whole time.
Oh, you were doing that. That was upsetting.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
I was just listening to Lorde over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I do that as well. So.
What is your favorite Christmas album? And let me answer that for you. It's obviously John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John.
No.
Yep.
No.
I think you might like it. That's
what
the
if
name of
Lorde
their hit
released a
song.
Christmas album?
I would listen to that
I think that
every
would be
second
great.
for the rest of my life. Well, Bright Eyes has a Christmas album, and I insist on listening to that constantly. But of course, it's Bright Eyes, so a lot of the songs have really depressing tones to them. So Leah gets mad that I'm listening to Christmas music, but it's making me sad.
I mean, Christmas music should be uplifting and joyous and fill your soul with love. I mean, do you have a soul?
Oh, no, not personally, no.
Okay, that explains it.
Yeah. No,
Wait, when you say not personally, is there a soul timeshare you're involved with?
No. I have a soul, but it's not mine.
Got it.
Yeah. I was just going to reference a Simpsons episode that you haven't seen. But anyway, the situation is, when I was a child, I did buy the soul of another child.
So you paid the troll toll to get a boy's soul. That's an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference for you.
Oh, you've seen something.
I
It's a good
have.
show.
I've seen
I don't
four
think- I
whole
don't-
seasons.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen that episode that you've
It's
referenced.
The Night Man Cometh.
Huh.
No,
No.
it's good.
Charlie Day is in that show.
He sure is.
He's great. He was in a little movie called Horrible Bosses 2.
And one.
I haven't seen either.
I saw Horrible Bosses 1, which I don't think was called that. I think it was just Horrible Bosses.
I think it was just called Horrible Boss.
Sure. Well, I saw it in a drive-in movie theater, so
Oh,
that's my story.
they still have those?
They sure do.
We got one here up in Canada on Prince Edward Island in Brackley Beach, and I saw Snakes on a Plane.
Excellent.
At that, and it was perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's bring this back to branding. Can we do that?
It's your show.
No, I guess to sort of sum up what you were saying before, and what I completely agree with, is that branding's not just like making your company look pretty, or your website look pretty, or your business cards, whatever it is. That's not really branding. That's maybe a part of the process, but it's about something a little more intrinsic than that. Does that make sense? It's about the values of your company, what your company stands for, and the types of products and clients that you want to work with. It's not just about saying, let's create a logo that we can put somewhere. Because you can,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, take that approach, but that approach isn't going to be beneficial over the long term.
Yeah, I think I have a huge problem with people who who think that branding is just a logo change. But it's the same kind of people who also struggle to, come up with anything creative in their lives. It's people who are either suspicious of creativity or don't believe it exists at all, who think that, oh my God. Sorry, Steve, you've got to leave it.
Are you incapable of ignoring the sirens?
It's so distracting. Oh, okay. All right. I have absolutely no idea what I was talking about. Right. Yeah. When you talk about just changing a logo as if that's changing, your brand, it's a little ignorant of your customers as well, thinking that their only knowledge of a company is the logo, and by changing that, you can change the whole thing. But a customer has, 1,000 different interactions with your company potentially, or even just one or two, and they've formed an idea of your company through those interactions, not through what the logo looks like. The logo is just the thing they use to remember you. So if you thinking that you're going to change a logo and change your whole company is insane. You do have to change everything. Like, your customer service reps speak to someone is part of a rebrand. Changing a logo is just changing a logo. It really often doesn't matter, and usually it can only make things worse.
Yeah, and I think part of the trouble with this, I think it's directly with the terms brand and rebrand. Mm-hmm. I think they kind of, to me, they're on the same level as content, which is a word that we've talked about a lot, or I've certainly talked about. My deep and profound hatred for the word content. And I think brand falls into that, because I think the traditional concept of what a brand is very limited toward things that are visible and tangible, if that makes sense. So things like letterhead and business cards and logos. But I think you completely hit the nail on the head. Really what a brand is, and there should be a better term for this, is all the interactions that somebody has with your company. So, if they're just reaching out to you, if you're a service business and somebody's reached out to you about a project, the first email back to them, that's your brand.
Yeah. Someone had the great thing. I forget who said it, but they were basically, it was a joke about airlines. Like, no matter what the logo of, your airline is, their brand is shitty customer service. Like, that's because that's how everyone's interaction with airlines is. So, your brand is really, in my opinion, your brand is what people think and say about you, and your logo can only do so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Brand is about action. It's about the way that your company behaves, not just the way that it looks. And certainly the way that it looks should reflect the way that it behaves. And if you're trying to change the behavior of your company, changing the logo as part of that process can be very beneficial, but it's not the means to an end in itself, I think, is kind of the way to... What do you think about that?
Well, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to enter in 100. We'll put 6 in here. If you're thinking about whether you should rebrand, you should in 83 weeks.
Perfect. 83 weeks is the magic number. So after we do ours, we will wait the requisite year and a half until you see a new one. 83 weeks seems kind of short. I don't know.
But that's if someone is right now at home thinking, is it time to rebrand?
Got it.
So they're already thinking about it. And the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just for 83 weeks from now.
Got it.
If you have just rebranded, I'll just put that in. We'll change this to maybe 5.
Carry the 3, the whole deal.
Do this. Let me just see. We'll start at 150. 235 weeks.
Okay. It's a good number.
So you're going to have, that's almost exactly 4.5 years. So go ahead, enjoy your new logo, your new ad campaign, and talk to us again in 4.5 years. You can stop listening to this show.
Yeah, just pick back up in 235 weeks. There you go.
What a horrible episode. Oh shit, we're still recording.
Well, with that. I hope that helps people out there who are in the throes of a rebranding scenario. But let's move on to our Amazon gear picks. So every week we each choose an item to place into our Amazon store, which you can find at notarealjob.com/gear. And there, if you like one of the products that we mentioned or want to give it a shot, you just click through, buy the product, and we get a small cut of the proceeds. So with that in mind, Joel, what do you have for us this week?
It's a good question. What I'm doing right now, Chris, is going into my Amazon orders and seeing what I've ordered recently.
Mhm.
I ordered a little thing called Monster High Basic Travel Abby Abominable doll.
Can you retry that? Well, I missed the word there.
Are you aware of Monster High?
No.
Neither was I. But what happened was through I believe it's through Feed Nova Scotia. Our office, a few people at work, are sponsoring a family this Christmas, and for their like Christmas gifts. And the young girl who is part of the family requested some Monster High dolls. So I went on Amazon and selected the most popular Monster High doll. And this one is the Monster High Basic Travel Abominable doll.
Huh.
It's like abominable.
Sure, I
but
get
it's
it now.
Abby space abominable.
Got it.
So that's one of my picks. I also ordered Myths to Live By, the collected works of Joseph Campbell. So we'll put that in there too. I want to get a little bit better about how I structure my stories, and I think that's going to help.
Awesome. Cool. So my pick this week is the Amazon Fire TV stick. I mentioned that I was
Ooh.
getting one last week, and
Mhm.
I got it. It's kind of similar to the Chromecast, or I guess even more specifically, the Roku stick,
Mhm.
in that it's a little HDMI dongle. You pop it into your TV, you plug in the USB for power, and it lets you stream, Netflix and Hulu and all those.
I'm glad
different
you took us back to a really sexual theme.
Really? Really?
Dongle.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's really cool. And what I kind of like about
Is it better than a Chromecast?
it's different. So the Chromecast, you kind of need a laptop to work with. This one you can kind of use on its own, which I really like. And what I like about it is that it's basically just an Android device. So you can actually add, unofficial apps that are just Android apps. So I added like a Firefox browser, and it doesn't come with a browser out of the box, but I was able to add that, and it's got some games and things. So overall, it's really cool. Not super powerful, but definitely enough to, enjoy some TV and a couple of apps and that kind of thing. So give it a try. It's $40, but you can probably get it on sale. I paid $25 for mine, and very happy. Very happy. There you go.
Cool.
So that's our show.
Speaking of products, coin update. You've had it for another week. Is it still working?
So I haven't used it in a week, mainly
Yeah.
because I've been out of town for Thanksgiving and wasn't really purchasing while I was upstate. I will fill you in next week once I am back on the buying things bandwagon.
All right. Well, I'm glad I brought that up. Sorry, I didn't have anything.
Yeah, I didn't say
Follow up
anything.
there. No, I really thought a thought would come to me, and it didn't. So everyone, sorry about this terrible episode. It's mostly Chris's fault, and
I think it's mostly the listener's fault. Let's not, let's not hedge anything. Let's be direct. You need to send us questions.
This is what you get.
This is
Yeah.
a question and answer based program. So no excuses. Come up with questions, even if you have to make them up.
Do you think it's our fault though for coming up with a format of a show that requires a minimum number of listeners to be viable?
No.
Do you think maybe we should just not do an episode if we don't get any questions?
No, see, here, this is the thing.
Because I'm going to petition for this not to be released.
Well, I think one of the reasons that we do an episode every week, this is true for me, maybe it's not for you, but I'm afraid that if we miss one,
We'll get used to it. It's
we'll
like
get used
that
to it,
episode of
yeah.
The Simpsons where Homer doesn't go to church and he realizes that life is a lot better not going to church.
Sure, I'll take your word for that. But you know what I mean? I don't want us to get off the bandwagon and then never do it again.
And you and I will never speak to each other again.
Honestly, it's an attractive proposition. That's the trick.
It is a trick, but your friendship is too important to me to stop talking to you just because I don't enjoy it.
I make no promises.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I guess on that note, some final housekeeping, twitter.com/nargcast. We are also on Facebook, facebook.com/notarealjob, youtube.com/nargcast. Really good way to share it with your friends is to grab the YouTube link because it plays right on Facebook and all that kind of good stuff. Also, you can send us questions. Please send us questions. notarealjob.com/questions. There's a convenient form there you can fill in. And also, if you have general inquiries, you want to advertise on the show, that kind of thing, info@notarealjob.com. And I think that's it. Us on Twitter, twitter.com/Chris Van Patten and @Joel Kelly as well. Definitely check us out. We're hilarious. People love us. And we are worth your time. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, that'll do it.
Perfect.
hfxsoup.com if you're in Halifax and you want to know what the soup of the day is.
Awesome. And
right.
also, of course, iTunes, notarealjob.com/iTunes is the place to find us. We'd really appreciate your review. All right, there we go.
None of this
No?
particular episode, though. As a whole.
You disagree?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.